Don't you just hate it when you jump in your car, put the key in, and nothing?
Now, obviously, that's an inconvenience. You jump in your vehicle, you jump in your 30-plus-year-old Jeep Cherokee, you turn the key, and nothing. Well, what could be wrong? Could be a couple of things. Could be your battery's dead, but just look at this. Obviously, our battery is not dead. We got dash lights with a working radio. If I want to turn the fan on, blower's power, it's getting power. Now, I already used the multimeter to make sure I have the right amount of power coming in here. My alternator is good. My alternator is providing the right amount of power. So I know it's getting charged up. I know it's got the power to start the vehicle. So why nothing? Well, if it's a bad battery, typically I'm going to hear a sound as that weak battery can't quite generate enough power to get it up. This is a starter. Now, I already know this is a starter because it's been going out. It's been going to crank itself over. It's a really slow crank. Not always going to be a starter that does that, but if you don't believe me, I'm going to show you how easy it is to really diagnose. This is your fuse box. Let's take this out. You're going to have a handy diagram on the bottom of these particular years, especially the early ones, and you'll see second in, top relay is your starter relay. Now for mine is open, so I just got to leave the key in there. If I want to test crank this, what I'm going to do, take a little screwdriver, nothing's happening. So your relay could be bad, but it's not that. It's the starter. The starter's kind of hard to see down there. It's right underneath the oil filter. That little wire there is going into the starter. So we're gonna fix this with some brute force. Actually, I'm just gonna take this breaker bar. It's gonna give me just enough length, got a couple feet of breaker bar here, to hold my starter relay in with a screwdriver and tap on the top of that starter. It may take a couple of taps, so I'm gonna make sure I can find it down here. Hold that relay in. There you go, starter. That's how I know it's the starter contacts going out. I have to beat it into submission to get it to start. Now, I already knew a long time ago that the starter was going out on this. In fact, I dropped the starter out of this one time already, and I cleaned it up. You can do that. You can clean up your starter contacts, change the brushes, rebuild them on these. It's a wonderful thing. There's lots of parts that can wear out inside of it. You can save yourself a little bit of money by changing that out. However, this was already a refurbished starter. There's a sticker on it. So this was something where they changed some parts but not others. Now it's all worn out. I got it to last me another couple months, but now it's time for a brand spanking new starter. So let's change that together. First thing we're gonna need is a new starter. And fortunately, I have this AC Delco starter, brand new in box. Got a great deal on it. You can tell it's never been installed. Still got a little plastic tag on it through the bolt hole. It is brand new. If you want to get a part number off of this, there you go. Here's this side. Here is this side. Now, pre-1997, you're going to have starter solenoid that looks like this. You're going to have 1, 2, 3 separate bolt-on points for your contacts. This one, I believe, after 97, is a little bit different of a connection point. One of these is a little bit different, but you can actually rewire it quite handily. There's a lot of videos out there on that, but I don't have to worry about that because this is the right one for my Jeep. So you can save yourself a little bit of trouble. Just verify that you're getting one for the right year. But as far as the mounting positions go, all of these are going to be the same.
Now, to get this off and put the new one on, you're going to want a ratchet, an extension, you're going to want an 8mm, a 13mm, a 14mm, and a 15. The 14 and 15 are for the actual mounting bolts that hold this. Sometimes there's a combination. Sometimes it's just going to be a 15. I believe all mine has is a 15, but you want to make sure you have that just in case. So this is going to be a 13. You'll remove these with the 13. This smaller bolt on the solenoid, you're going to use an 8mm right there. Now, before we worry about this one, let's crawl under there and get the other piece off. And don't forget, before you touch anything electronic on this vehicle, you want to use a 12mm socket or wrench to remove the negative battery terminal and move that out of the way. Don't want to mess up anything in the electronic system or give yourself a shock. Now, we're going to crawl under here. You're going to want to end up over there. So you can either come from the front or come in this side. Let's do this from my point of view down here. And we're gonna crawl on our back underneath the Jeep. Oh, yeah. Doing a reverse solid snake here. Oh, thank goodness I'm not too fat for this. Embarrassing that would be to get stuck under your own Jeep. Okay. Here we are looking at the starter. Okay, now we're down here. We're gonna use the phone light. We're gonna get a look at what needs to be removed. You can see our starter wires coming down here, and they're gonna bolt on here with the 8mm, and back here with the 13mm. Then, you can see on the back, you've got a mounting bolt right here. This is gonna be a tricky one. And down here is the easy one. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Right here. That's right on the bottom, easy access. All right, let's get to it, see what we can do. There's some real tight spaces down here, so you may want to bring a 1/4 inch down with you. Use a smaller wrench for these uppers. Oh, that's wrong way. We're tightening. When I'm on my back here, sometimes I can get my directions mixed up. That is why I don't go spelunking in any way, shape, or form. Small motions. Oh, look at that. Wiggling it back and forth. All right, obviously, once you get those out of the way, just gotta work this gently back and pop it right off. All right, so this lower bolt is indeed a 14. And the one on top is the 15 for this one. So we're gonna struggle here for a minute. We'll crack those loose. This will drop right out, and then we'll take a look at it up top. Bit of a helpful tip: if you have a hard time getting this dead on, you may need to use extra extenders or get yourself a swivel and a deep socket to give yourself just the right angle to get in there. And if you'll excuse me, I need to use both hands. All right, with those two bolts removed, this drops right out. Not onto your face, onto the transmission lines. So it gives you a little bit of a moment to get your hands around it and pull it out. So now that we've got them both next to each other, just really quickly compare. Pretty much the same thing. Check, make sure it is in fact the same thing. Yep, same thing. Make sure your solenoids are the same. This is same as that one. it's gonna bolt right in there. So I'm gonna crawl underneath there one more time, and then I'll be back with you to test this out. All right, now that we've got that jammed in there, let's reconnect our negative and see if it works. There we go. Woo! So can a random dude who knows barely anything about cars change a starter on a Jeep Cherokee? The answer is yes, you can. So what are you waiting for? Go get a Jeep Cherokee and you too can participate in changing starters, alternators, shocks, bump stops, and every other part of it until you own a new car. Actually, it's a lot of fun. So please join us on this Jeep XJ adventure. Get one of your own. Don't be afraid. It doesn't bite much. All right, have a good one. Thanks for joining me. This has been a failure to start.